Yeah, that's the reason why it's 7 and not lower. Because if you just look at the shoe on its own in the cold light of day, when every other shoe that's come out this year has come out, you're gonna be like, oh, it's a black 95, right? I still think it's sick. It's a black 95. So we just gotta be real. Yes, my people, Big Prozech back again, and you already know what it is, your sneaker and lifestyle podcast, Kicks Chronicles. I'm here, and I'm on my own, because we've got a very, very special episode. You get me? First and foremost, I want to shout out everybody that interacted with, commented, liked, subscribed, all of those things that you're meant to do in the engagements. Yeah, everyone that got involved with the last episode, the Crep City episode. First, yeah, I mean, we got a shout out to the boy, the man them like HB Kicks Akin Hassan Life of a Broski. Shout out to Swoley. You get me, Big Tough as well, and everybody else that was there at Crep City. You get me, great episode, great to catch up with the lads and do all of that. But this episode is gonna sort of veer off of that episode slightly, because in that episode we were talking about what we're looking forward to. But in this episode, I want us to take a little bit of a look back over the course of this year. Now, I'm recording this in July, so essentially we're halfway through the year. Slightly bit more than halfway, but essentially halfway. And you know what I thought we should do? I thought we should do a top 10, almost a half year top 10, half year plus top 10. You get me? Because I didn't do one of those, and I think it's pretty cool to do one of those. So we might as well do it together. You get me? So I've got a list here. And also like, shout out to everyone that's been engaging with the Instagram, social media, and everyone like that. You get me, man? I need to up my game in terms of the podcast, and I need to continue to push forward, because that's the bread and butter. That's what brought people to the game. You get me, man? And we will be getting we've got some amazing guests lined up. People are hitting me up left, right, and center. I just got a pattern. Just a few things happening. I just got a pattern. For the time being, yeah, it's me and you. We're gonna chat. You get me? But as I said, I feel like halfway through the year, we should be doing a little bit of a top 10. We have had an exorbitant amount of kicks for this year, 2025. I think we can all agree our bellies are fat. We are round with the amount of kicks that we have had. Some of you are saying talk for yourself, but don't be cheeky, because we've all copped too many kicks. I think we can all say that. You get me, man? Nike really opened that vote, and when they opened that vote, some of us are and ahhing as to whether it was a good thing or not. I think we've come around to the idea that maybe they should have left it slightly ajar, because them leaving the thing wide open, just blasting the doors off the thing, I don't think it was the greatest idea. But it is what it is. We are living it. We're experiencing it. And hopefully this will be maybe just an anomaly of a year in our years in sneaker history. No, the year 2025, when we had grail after grail, GR after GR. In fact, Swoley said it best. We've had so many grails come out this year that Nike have turned grails into GRs. And I think we could include last year as well, because I think it started from the Wu-Tang Dunk all the way up to even very recently, the white cement, and then the shattered backboards. Players still sitting. In no other year in the history of this world would that be a thing, but it's a thing in 2025. You've got white cement 4 still sitting. You've got shattered backboard 1s still sitting. And even though I picked up a pair, and the leather on that shattered backboard 1, I should say, was absolutely impeccable. I think some of you may have seen the video that I put out on Instagram. Thank you very much for getting involved with that. If I don't say it again, because I will mention it a few times, make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Continue to support what we've got going on over here. You continue to show your support. I continue to put out great content. But yeah, man, at least content that I'm proud to put out. You get me? But yeah, man, the leather on that shattered backboard 1 was impeccable and far superior to the leather quality on the white cement 4. And I think all of us would agree with that. That being said, I mean, shoes that you still need to pick up. Whether you hold on to them is another question, and that's completely up to you. But definitely you need to at least get them in hand and have a little look, especially when the amount of quantity in the market was just unbelievable. Quoted 180,000 pairs for the Jordan 4 white cements. Quoted 210,000 pairs of shattered backboards. Don't know whether those numbers are real. Don't know whether that they're fiction. Who knows? But all I know is that they're sitting. And I'm not using that as a barometer as to whether they're good or bad, because I've already told you. Shattered backboards are fantastic and the white cements are the leather quality. The shoe aesthetically is a beautiful shoe. It's just, is it going to last over time? Probably not. Once it gets a few wears in. But we've had a lot of amazing shoes come out this year. And I'm talking about also Bread 85s came out this year. I mean, like, Black Toes came out this year for better or worse, right? There was a lot of really cool kicks that came out this year. But I'm going to talk about my top 10. I'm going to get into my top 10, right? What I want you guys to do, right? Just help me out, right? Get in the comments. Let me know your feelings, your thoughts on this top 10, but let me know what your top 10 or top 5 or top 3 for the year so far is. Let me know in the comments. Yeah, people, let me know in the comments. I'm telling you what mine is. Yeah, so I'm sharing with the group, right? You let me know what your top 3, top 5, top 10 is. You get me? And that's how we talk. That's how we conversate, right? That's how we keep the lines of communication open. Once again, I appreciate every single one of you for joining me. I thank you for listening, downloading, watching on whatever platform this is. You guys are absolutely unbelievable. Your support is over, like, it's far and above anything I would ever expect on any platform. And I appreciate you from the bottom of my heart. But now let's get into this top 10. You get me? Because I don't want to waste too much of your time. I know top 10 is, I'm saying it's 10, right? So we got to do this, right? So let's get into this top 10. I'm going to try and do this live stream style. Shout out to my boys HB and Erkin, you get me? I'm going to try to do this live streaming style. So I'm going to try and sort of throw up images on the screen while I'm doing it, because it's just me one, you get me? So, I mean, we can give it a go. We can try. You never know. If I'm good at it, we may start doing some live streams, you get me? I'm not stepping on no toes now. I'm not stepping on no toes. I'm just saying I might give it a go. But first and foremost, man, shout out to number 10. Yeah. My number 10. Actually, no, I was going to go into that honorable mentions, right? In fact, let me do the honorable mentions, right? So you can see where my mind's at, right? Should I do the honorable mentions now, or should I do them at the end? Because you'll be able to work them out by the end. I'm going to do the honorable mentions now. So I've mentioned it now. I've got a thing about re-released pairs. When I say re-released pairs, I've got a thing about if a colorway has already come out and it's the same colorway that's coming out and essentially it's a retro, I'm not going to put it in my top 10 anymore. I just think it's unfair, right? And when you got shoes like the Shattered Backboards coming out, the White Cement 4s coming out, the Bread 85s coming out, I can't put them in my top 10. Even if they're really, really well done, I'm not going to put them in my top 10 because they'll win every year, right? So off the bat, right, shout out to the Bread ones, shout out to the Shattered Backboards, shout out to the White Cement 4s, right? They're not in my top 10. But I love those shoes. And even though I wish the leather quality on the 4s was better, I think aesthetically it's a beautiful shoe. I also got to shout out the Soul 2.0s, right? Now, this is a 2.0. So I'm not taking it out because it's the same as the original, because it isn't the same as the original. It's an amazing shoe. It's just not in my top 10, right? I also want to shout out the Joe Freshgood Aged Wells. I think they're a fantastic shoe. Skepta with the scopes of Puma, put Puma on his back, in a way. And I think the scopes, especially that ice pack, you know, that black and the ice, and my God, yeah, those shoes are hot. They're strong. They're strong. So Skepta doing this thing. I know he's out there trying to beef the US. I don't think that's going to go very far. But I'm not involved, you get me? I'm a man of God. I'm a man of peace. You get me, man? I don't get involved in such things, you get me, man? But I don't think it's going to go too far. I think you might need a few more people. But yeah, the Skeptas are fire. And you know what? And talking about music, one shoe that it was so close to being in my top 10, and it really should be, because it's an extremely underrated shoe. A shoe that when it came out had a little bit of a buzz, but wasn't given the respect it deserves. purely based on the aesthetic of the shoe, the amount of energy and effort they put in the shoe. Now, one thing I always say, if you listen to this podcast, you listen to me, my boy Erkin, and Scotty, the sneaker teacher on Triple Dot Podcast, you know I'm a story guy. You know I like my hand to be held and to be taken along on a narrative. And I know that some brands, right, don't like to do that because it's expensive and long, right? But the brands that do that, and the product that comes with a really cool narrative and a really cool story, tend to do it far better with me and the culture, I think, than those that don't, right? That being said, I think this had a really cool narrative. I think it was amazing product, and it was inches away from my top 10, right? And it could easily be my 10. I could easily swap my 10 for this, right? So it's almost like a joint 10, right? Can you hear me backpedaling as I'm saying it? I'm kind of talking myself out of it. But either way, I'm going to tell you what it is. And that is the Apron Records Vortex, the green pair. Unbelievable shoe. Unbelievable shoe. And do you know what? I'm going to do it the respect it deserves. I'm going to give it the respect it deserves, right? And I'm going to throw it up on the screen. You get me? Because I need people to understand and put a lot of respect on this shoe's name. You get me? Let's share the screen so you guys can see. That shoe, for me, and you guys should be seeing it on screen now. That shoe for me, look at it, £134.99. £134.99. Vortex, 180, print records. I mean, unbelievable settings. I think this thing is, oh, now it's moving, right? Unbelievable settings. A crazy, crazy, crazy shoe. Look at that. Look at that. Just a great shoe. Now, I'm not going to get into the background behind Apron Records, Stephen Julian, an amazing English sort of music label, and their sort of connection with Nike, and how this has come about, and how this particular shoe and the Bloodline pair came about in very, very limited quantities. I believe that was very, very early in the year. I want to say I've got a list of all the shoes that dropped. It dropped in March, right? £135. Super, super cost effective, especially in a year when we had so many kicks at exorbitant prices, right? Super, super interesting shoe. A 180. So straight away off the bat, different gravy, a 180 but I think it had a 95 tongue. They retooled the tongue. It's a 95 tongue. Big 180 embossed on the tongue. Razor blade debray. Oh, come on now. Let me see if I can, the back of the shoe, little chrome hits, but that razor blade, look at the razor blade. Why has a razor blade never been used as an attachment, as an attache on a shoe, as a debray on a shoe? Why has a razor blade never been used? Now, don't mind me, it's not a real razor blade. It's just for comical and sort of artistic effect, right? But it looks fire. It looks crazy. You get me, man? So yeah, I definitely wanted to give that a massive honorable mention because I think it was a shoe that, number one, represents London. Number two, was extremely underrated, had no fanfare, but still an amazing story and a well-executed shoe. Now, there are going to be some shoes on this list that are probably not going to be aesthetically as good as this. They may be, in your opinion, right? But that's just it. It's your opinion and it's my list. So I win. Let me know in the comments, right? So we are going to go with number 10, right? Some of you might call this recency biased, right? I don't think so, right? It is important that when a shoe grips your heart and makes you say, you know what? I have to put a huge amount of respect on the design. When you have an idea and you follow it all the way through, you know, I've got to put a massive amount of respect in that. At the end of the day, we love shoes. And this shoe is really, really important to me because it shows a little bit of a shift. Now, last year, 2 years ago, you may have seen slightly more New Balance on this list. But this year, I personally think New Balance have been chilling, resting on their laurels. Right? Some of you may argue with that. I just said, jump in the comments. Tell me what you're thinking and feeling. But for me, Saucony's been where it's at. If you're talking about that other brand, Saucony has been where it's at. And I'm talking about any Saucony. At my number 10, right, I will be putting in the Glower Constrictor. I didn't start. This is the Saucony Pro Grid Omni 9 Glower Constrictor in the green glow. The shoe is impeccable. Like, look at the level of detail on this shoe. Like, I mean, come on. Like, the shoe, like, every inch of this shoe, they have sort of like channeled the spirit of a serpent. Now, as a Christian man, I don't vibe with the snakes so often, yeah? But I can respect them because God created them. We have to respect that. You get me? And it's an impeccable shoe. Even the iridescence, like, I think if I can, like, even on this part of the shoe, like, so where the logo is on the side of the shoe, the outside of the shoe, because I'm old school. So the outside of the shoe, the bit that faces outside, right? The bit that I've got my mouse on right now, bro, that is iridescent. And you know snakes have that kind of vibe. And you've got that sort of like scaly mesh effect on the upper, right? Bro, the shoelaces look like snakes. Everything about this shoe just says snake to me. It says snake to me. Every single part of the shoe, right? The shoe, I think, was about £155 direct from the Saucony website. Shout out to the sneaker teacher. Once again, you get me, sent me that link. We spoke about it on the Triple Dot podcast. And yeah, man, I think it was our Triple Dot I think it was our Triple Dot like last week. Like, it was just that good. And then all three of us copped. We had to. We need to put some respect on Saucony's name, right? And I know Scott has been chatting to the guy. I can't remember the guy's name. Let me find him on Instagram. Scott has been chatting to the designer of the shoe. Chill out. Yeah, guys. Cold War, right? I'll throw it up on screen, right? His name's Josh. Cold War, right? On Instagram. Right under his name, you'll see it. It says Saucony Lifestyle, Senior Lead Designer. Bro, guys got pedigree, been at Puma, Reebok. You get me? Senior Lead Designer. And he cooked. And I know he's probably part of a team, blah, but the dude cooked. The shoe is unbelievable. So yes, it may be a little bit of recency biased, but we got to put respect on good shoes names, right? And Saucony deserves some respect, right? And I'm going to be honest with you, it's not the only Saucony on the list. You know it's not the only Saucony on the list because Saucony have been cooking, right? But what I want to say is this is the first Omni 9 I've been able to cop. Glory be to God, right? I've been trying to get this shoe for so long, and finally, I missed out on the J tips. Subtle foreshadowing. I missed out on the J tips, but now I have a Pro Grid Omni 9 Glower Constrictor in the green glow, right? And I am over the moon with that. And that is my number 10. Shout out to Cold War, shout out to Josh. You get me? Shout out to Scotty for putting us on, right? And we move. Right? We move. Guys, we're back. And now it's time for number 9. Right? Right? So my number 9, we're going to switch it up. Right? It's a shoe that a lot of you were feeling this year. And this brand, I think personally, I think in 2024, in my opinion, they did too much. And they tried to do something only, I'll be honest, they tried to do something only Virgil Abloh has been able to be successful at so far. They tried to emulate Virgil and they did not succeed, in my opinion. However, they started something that, even though I didn't like the original, I did like this. And I am talking about Armor Mania. And specifically, I am talking about the hand wash cold Air Max 95. This shoe is my number 9. Shout out to StockX. I managed to get a pair. You get me? I was doing a bit of work with StockX. I don't know if you've heard. I did a bit of work with StockX. Yeah, I did a bit of work with StockX, man. And I managed to get this pair in on the free ski. You get me? Ended up doing a nice little video in the shoe. And you know what? In a year of I think it's the 30th anniversary of the Air Max 95, it was very, very important. I know we've had the neons, and I forgot to honorable mention the neon and the mandarin and the pink foam, because I mean that goes without saying. In the year of the Air Max 95s, those shoes obviously deserve unbelievable amounts of credit because they were impeccably done, all 3 of those shoes. And I know there's more to come. Like I got any, right? I think it's very important for you to note that. That's the reason why it skipped my mind, because I didn't catch any of those particular Pokemon. But, right, this shoe it was a banger. The original from the sort of While You Were Sleeping collection, the original 95, it missed me, man. It was giving Neapolitan ice cream. It wasn't the one for me. And I didn't like the idea of no lace loops. But in a darker hue, with the dark navies and the greens and the greys and the blacks, it took on a bit of a different feel to me. And it made it make sense. So I'm vibing with this shoe. Totally. I'm vibing with the shoe. The materials on the shoe were A1. The shoe was far heavier than a standard Air Max 95, purely because every layer was the most premium leather or material you could get. Unbelievable, right? I think I want to say the shoe was like 185. But it was pretty hard to get, and as I say, I didn't pay, right? That being said, the shoe was fire. The shoe was fire and well worth. I mean, look at the details, right? One thing that you've never seen before, right, is this level of detail on an Air Max 95. This area right here on the toe box where they've scored into the leather, my man, yeah, right? Then take it all the way to the back of the shoe, right, where they've got the arm on a bit. But on the inside, I think it was on the inside, they had the hand wash cold symbols. So the symbols that you would have on the label of your clothing when you're meant to wash cold, they were there embossed as well. It was a great shoe. It was a great shoe. Those are the little. That's what gets my heart pumping. Those little bits of, if you know, you know. Those little bits of, oh, but did you see this? Those are the things that, you know what I'm saying, make this boy's big face, make him smile. You get me, man? So we love that. That was a vibe. You get me? Hand wash cold. You get me? Shout out to Soul Supplier, man. I'm using the Soul Supplier website while I'm trying to learn how to do live streaming. You get me? On this episode, man. But yeah, crazy shoe. You get me? Nice little mini swoosh at the back. Embossed at the back of the shoe. You know that little sort of pillar it has at the back of an Air Max 95. I've got it on screen. That air, and you got the Nike Air, but you got the A from the Armor Manier. The A, right, it just fits perfectly in that area, man. And it looked like it's got a big bubble vibe as well. Like it just looked impeccable on every level. So that's my number 9. All right. Let me know in the comments below how I'm doing. Right. We've got 2 down. We've got 8 to go. Right. Number 8. Right. And we're cooking with gas. Right. Number 8 is, right, it's another special shoe from a special brand. Some of you guys are going to have this higher than I'm going to have it, right? But, I mean, it is what it is, right? There's a reason why I have this shoe where I have it, right? And coming in at number 8, right, I'm gonna lift the screen up so you can see it properly. Yeah, man, I've got the Pattern Air Max 90 Waves in the sapphire colorway. Now, I know it came out in the neon. I personally prefer the sapphire. And some of you guys are going to have this shoe higher because Pat cooked on this. right? This particular colorway absolutely banged. Some people like the neon. I particularly love the sapphire. I think the blue slash purple or whatever you want to call it just hit crazy with the silver and the black. It just made sense. It's an Air Max 90 as well, so the shoe like is an extremely underrated shoe and deserves a huge amount of respect. Now, not only the only Air Max 90 to drop this year, but the only one I felt worthy of being on my list. A lot of you are gonna maybe shout at the screen or while listening to the podcast that Sloan dropped an Air Max 90. He dropped two, in fact, right? Yeah, they didn't bang to me. I mean, they didn't bang. It is what it is, man. It is what it is. I think Sloan is gonna come again. Pause. And I think he's gonna have an amazing shoe. Like, he's just gonna have an amazing shoe when he comes back around again. But this one wasn't the one. The 90 that he dropped wasn't the one. Now, if you want to learn how to drop a 90, you listen to what these man did. The issue that I have with Patter, and the reason why this is at 8 and not any higher than an 8, right, is the drop was embarrassing. I hated it, right? I hated every part of it, right? And this is, I'm a little bit salty because I didn't get the shoe. Yeah, I am salty because the shoe's banging. Like, it's a fantastic shoe. But I didn't get it. And the drop was terrible. And it almost seemed, and I'm not going to go over it, right? You gave people exclusive access, but everyone that you gave exclusive access cannibalized all the product. So that when you opened it up to the general public, nobody else could get anything. Hello? That's not the vibe, bro. That's not the one, man. So yeah, Patter, you need to look at that because this ain't your first rodeo. You've been doing this. You get me? I'm going to talk about some other companies that need to learn from their like previous mistakes, but this is definitely one that you need to take note of. We need to take some lessons learned from this, right? If you've got product for exclusive access members, section that thing off. Yeah? Because otherwise, every other person that's trying to get into this drop is just not going to get anything. And the finger's going to get burnt. We ain't going to get the kicks and we're going to leave salty. And that's how I feel. You get me? That being said, it's still in my top 10. You get me? Whether it'll be there at the end of the year, who knows? Right? But it's still in my top 10 because it's an impeccable shoe. The mesh, the silver, the black, the sapphire. With the off-white laces, yeah, you're playing games. Get out of my face, man. Okay. Next up, yeah, in 7, and we're going to start rattling through these, yeah, right? Now, once again, this is a shoe that some people are going to have higher, right? But in the cold light of day, I need you lot to think about this. In the cold light of day, this shoe, even though it's an Air Max 95 in the year of Air Max 95s, the anniversary year, it's just a black Air Max 95. Or is it, right? So let's get to it. Let's discuss this, right? I'm talking about, I'm talking about. I'm talking about the Air Max 95 Cortez Honey Black, right? One thing I will certainly say, yeah, is in terms of marketing, and this is one of the reasons why the shoe is in at number 7, because 7 is a number of perfection. And people that know about Christianity, they know that 7 is the number of the rest is the day that God rested. It's because he looked back on what he did and it was good. Right? The shoe is good. The shoe is good. Cortez Air Max 95 Honey Black is a good shoe. In fact, it's an impeccably made shoe. The quality of the leather is fantastic. The bubble is fantastic. The yellow hits on the shoe is fantastic. It's giving Bumblebee. It's giving Dark London Streets. It's giving Wu-Tang. It's giving all of these things, right? All of the goodness, right? But when you, in the moment, a shoe, the drop, Tower Bridge, the box in the middle of Tower Bridge, Clint 419 sitting on a box in the middle of Tower Bridge, people going out, causing a ruckus, making moments, yeah. That's the reason why it's 7 and not lower. Because if you just look at the shoe on its own in the cold light of day, when every other shoe that's come out this year has come out, you're going to be like, oh, it's a black 95, right? I still think it's sick. It's a black 95. So we just got to be real, right? We ain't talking about I got a green. That's a different thing entirely. We all know where I put that when it came out that time. You get me? That was like top 3, top 4, right? Dark green is a different thing in value. This is a black Air Max 95, right? Impeccably made, great storytelling, executed perfectly. It should really be getting a 7 because the design isn't really in the shoe. The design was in the creation of the moment and the narrative, right? For a long time, I didn't want there to be another one. I thought the 3 should stand alone, the rule of 3s, right? But I came round to it because I didn't get any of those 3. I came round to it, and by the grace of God, we managed to get those. We managed to get these, right? So, like, I ain't mad at the shoe. I'm gonna be rocking the shoe. I'm gonna be wearing the shoe. I think the shoe's sick. It's just a black Air Max 95. And when I say just, I'm not being disrespectful. That's what it is, right? And it's the best one. It's the best black Air Max 95 you'll ever get. It's the most impeccably made black Air Max 95 in the history of black Air Max 95s. Somebody's going to come out and tell me there was an even better one. In my history, in my mindset, in everything that I know about Kicks, this is the best black leather Air Max 95 that's ever been made. But it is a black leather Air Max 95. That's what it is. And sometimes you just need a little bit more. And you'll see in the list that as I go down, these kicks have got a little bit more, respectfully. So shout out to Clint, Cortez, and all the man them, you get me? Coyote, you get me? All of them man there doing their thing, right? Keep on killing it, because you know I support the thing. But yeah, man, it's number 7. And that's nothing to be sniffed at. Coming in at number 6, right? Coming in at number 6. Guys, let me know in the comments below how you think this list is going so far. I think it's going impeccably. I like it, right? I like how it's going. Right? Not like I came up with a list or nothing, right? Number 6 is the second, might be the last, might not be, the second Saucony on the J-Tips Saucony Jazz 9. I love you, but I'm busy. Oi, look at the colors, my people. Look at the colors. Once again, shout out to Soul Supplier for helping me out. Look at the colors, bro. Look at the colors, man. Just like the level of detail on the shoe, the vibrancy of the colors. I think this shoe, when did it come out? Because I feel like it came out just before summertime. April. Spring. Title spring. The air's crisp, right? Now, this is a full summer shoe, and it's giving that vibe. But getting this shoe in April, just in time for the summer. And this year, we had a decent summer, man. This shoe is a shoe that I should be seeing a lot. And I don't see it enough, right? By the time it came out, those who knew, right? I obviously didn't because I didn't get a pair. I tried to, and Foot Patrol had a sneaky restock that I completely missed, which was so annoying. But we move, man. Because I'm a size 12 UK, if anybody wants to bless me, right? And not every shoe is going to come to the yard. I'm not going to get it. I'm not going to cop every kick, man. You know, and little Audis, the middle aisles don't have all them kicks. You get me? That's an inside joke for anyone that follows me on Instagram. Make sure to go follow me on Instagram and TikTok, please. We need that. But yeah, this shoe is unbelievable. The story is great. The price point was fantastic. It was like £135, right? It was like, for the amount of artistry on the shoe, the level of design, and the color popping. Like this shoe, like we love shoes that just like draw attention. You can see what I'm wearing right now, man. I'm head to toe in navy blue. I'm either head to toe in navy blue, head to toe in black, head to toe in grey. Like I'm a really mono dresser. I keep things real simple. But when it comes to my kicks, I let them bad boys sing. You get me? No Diddy. And I let them sing, man. And I let my shoes do the talking as well. You get me? And if there's a pop on there, let that do, like, let it do its due. Like, and these shoes are definitely that. Like reds, oranges, yellows, blues, silvers, like all over the place. Like on a Jazz 9, a shoe that hasn't had the sort of J Tips effect. We got it. We got it. You get me? One of Saucony's legacy pairs. Like it got that jazz, it got that J Tips effect. Like almost anything he touches turns to gold. You get me? Like, especially when it comes to Saucony, I'm putting them on his back. He did a lot, man. The shoe's a fire shoe. By all accounts, super, super comfortable. Absolutely impeccable shoe. And that shoe is my number 6. Now coming in at number 5. Now, some of you, man, once again, recency bias, some of you, man, are going to have this higher as well. Some of you, man, are going to have this higher, right? Now, I managed to cop these, right? But there's a little bit of a story that goes with them. Now, in at my number 5 is the Levi's times Nike Air Max 95. And I could put any of the colorways there, but I've got the Obsidian up on the screen because the Obsidian is that one. It was the one that everyone wanted. It was fantastically done, right? The shoe, in terms of execution, great shoe. The black pair looked fantastic, completely wearable once again. And the light Allwood or the Crew or the Off-White, whatever you call it, was also a great shoe. Just slightly impractical in London, right? But you can still make it work. And did you see what my bro Lorenzo did with the light Allwood, bro? Let me tell you something now, Levi's, yeah? I'm going to talk to you again, but let me tell you this one for free. As soon as you saw Lorenzo took an interest in that kick, right? And I know a lot of people were calling for it. I was calling for it. Scotty, sneaker teacher, was calling for it. Kath was calling for it. A lot of people were saying, you know, we can't wait to see what Lorenzo does with the shoe. It did not disappoint. He smashed the kick, right? When you saw what he did with that shoe, you should have asked him for his address and sent him 50 pairs. That should be the next collab. That should be the collab, right? On that shoe, right? Just think about it. I gave you that one for free, right? Lorenzo, you're my bro. I ain't even going to charge you for that. You get me? Because you've been so good to me, respectfully. But this particular shoe, yeah, the Obsidian was crazy. I think of the 3, the Obsidian is the best. She was like £185. I caught mine from the Levi's website. Shambles in terms of a drop on the website. Absolute shambles. Levi's definitely want to have a look at themselves. Respectfully, because this is not your first drop. You've done Jordans before. You've done other shoes before. Yeah, you're not new to the game. But you're not true to the game either. Because you're acting like you've never done this before. There were people staying out in front of your store in Regent Street overnight. You did not engage. You did not give out wristbands. These people had to look after themselves. There were kids there. There were all sorts of people there. And what did you do at the first sign? Because you did not engage with these people. You just left these people to their own devices. Yeah, all right. And people are a little bit hot and bothered, right? So yeah, there's going to be a little bit of an argy-bargy, right? If you don't take control of the situation, Levi's, right? That's what's going to happen. You needed to be upfront, be honest and say, you know what, right? There's 50 pairs in the store. This is how we're going to do it, right? Get your security up, right? And manage that situation intentionally, right? You know that the product is fire, right? Far better than the renders earlier in the year in the mock-ups. They looked terrible. This shoe was far better than we all expected. In the year of 95, may I add once again, right? So people are going to want the shoe, right? You flopped it for a lot of people. Website was terrible. Terrible. I copped the Obsidian twice. I got told I copped the shoe twice. First and foremost, why do you not have a size 12 on your website? Why do you not have size 12s? Why is 46 EUR, the European size, why is that the highest size you have? Right? Why have I got to do maths? Why am I trying to tell my wife what size I am in Europe sizes? And I'm saying to her, just get the biggest size. And she's like, what? But I don't even know if that is your size. And it turns out it's not my size. It's a size 11. So I couldn't even use the shoe that I copped, right? But God is good. We paid it forward. She went to a good home. I'm not going to tell you where, right? And I didn't charge for it because I'm not reselling. I didn't charge for it. We just passed it along. You get me, man? for retail. You get me? Because the shoe's too small for me. I'm a size 12. Size 12 virgin and a 12 and a half. So I can't even play that game. You get me? But still managed to cop the black pair. That, like, going back to my original story, cop the two Obsidians, both got cancelled, right? Luckily enough, still went in for the black pair and that one came through. Actually came through pretty quickly as well. So in terms of the order fulfillment part of it, yeah, Levi's, you're immaculate. But everything up to that was terrible, right? And that's the rant over. I think the shoe was fantastic, right? Not much of a story behind the shoe, in terms of like a massive narrative. This is just a really cool Air Max 95 in the year 30th anniversary of Air Max 95s. This is a really, really cool. And I think one of the first all jean, all denim pairs that we've had. So yeah, it was just a really, really cool drop. And I love the shoe. I love the shoe. I love all three pairs. I think they're all fantastic. I think some are more practical than others. I think the black pair is really, really interesting. I think there's probably not going to be a world where you're going to have the black pair and the Cortez 95 honey blacks. I don't know if you're going to have both. I could see somebody having both. There are some people that I know, like Styles. Styles is going to have both. Yeah, shout out to Styles because he's the man. You get me? But like, some people are going to have both. Some people are not going to have both. Some people are going to hold on to them for a little bit and they're going to get rid of one. I've had those conversations. You get me? But it is what it is, man. I think the shoe's really, really cool. And that is the reason why it was my number 5. Now, number 4, I was talking about him earlier, but it's important that we put respect on this guy's name, man, because people think when I do these lists and when I talk about this guy, it's because he's my boy that I talk about him like this. No. Bro, I came into this game a fan, right? And I reached out to him as a fan, bro, just as an appreciator, right? Of the culture and of what he's done, right? That simple, that easy, right? Nothing more, nothing less. I reached out to the boy and I said, bro, what you do is amazing. And the way that people chat about you, bro, humble you, man. A lot of you guys will know we've got a little bit of a history. He jumped on episode 100, my special guest for episode 100, after I tried to get him earlier, but it wasn't God's timing. Was meant to do something completely different for episode 100. Fell through last minute. Who did I call? Lorenzo picked up the call. He said, say less. And not only did he do that, but he blessed me with that pair right up there in that case. It don't come out the case very often. But just above that one of two, I should say, New Volcano Air Max 95 in that special case. Just above that, some of you might be able to see there is a New Balance 863. If I can get my words out, there was an Air Balance 860 V2, right, in a dusk colorway. And that is my number 4. The Lorenzo G New Balance 860 V2 in the dusk colorway. Boy. Now, many of you that look at my Instagram and look at my other social media will know that 9 times out of 10, if I'm walking on road wearing a pair of shoes, kicks, sneakers, crepes, I'm on holiday, I'm just taking a little stroll, just going to Asda, Sainsbury's maybe, just doing whatever. 9 times out of 10, you're going to see me in these. Why? Because once again, these bad boys sing. Look at them. They sing. The shoe is everything. Everything. Comfort, unbelievable. Color, execution, unbelievable. My pair's number 18. Price point, a lot. 250. Had to go through a lot to get the shoe. Golden ticket. January, very, very cold. Didn't wear enough layers, right? Unbelievable amount of effort and energy to get the crepe, but we got the crepe. And shout out to the whole Federici family. And shout out to Mrs. Federici, the new Mrs. Federici, Lauren Federici. Shout out to Lorenzo and Lauren Federici, man, for doing amazing things, man. But this shoe was just, yeah, it was everything we needed in January, man. It was very, very important. And that's the reason why, yeah, like, I have not been able to take this shoe off. This is probably my most worn shoe this year, right? And it's just like that. It's just like that. It just is that. And this could have been my number 3 easily. But you know what I liked about the next shoe I'm going to talk about is when this particular person, this particular designer dropped their original shoe, people got onto them because it was boring. But, and I did as well, they had quite a infamous argument at Complex Con last year with, shout out to Bimmer from the Collab Lab. He probably took the low ground, the designer I'm talking about, probably took the low ground on that particular interaction. But I think at that time, we didn't really understand the vision. We didn't get it. And maybe that's partly our fault for not sort of believing in this person and their aesthetic. I think it's partly their fault for not fully explaining the vision and making us understand what they were going for in that initial drop and the reason why it looked the way it looked. But all of that went away very, very quickly, right? Let me see if I can find this. When he dropped this screen, yes, I am talking about the Nike Air Force One, Lil Yachty, Lucky Green, and a Mystic Red. That's our number 3. That's our number 3, man. What a comeback. What a comeback. Unbelievable scenes, right? What a comeback. To go from that original Concrete Boys flex, where it was really, really simple, super underwhelming for a lot of us that didn't get the vision, didn't get it was an art back to the old school sort of Rockefeller Air Force Ones and the shady Air Force Ones and the Terror Squad Air Force Ones from back in the day, the old school hip hop Air Force Ones, which were really, really simple, didn't really have a huge amount of design input in the shoe, just a simple logo. You went from that to this Bape inspired patent leather, greens, yellows, and reds, like Africa, giving me Pan-Africanism without the black, obviously. Like everything I needed in a shoe. You get me? And for the summertime. Nah, shout me, bro. I need a pair of these. Lil Yachty, shout out to your daddy, yeah? Because my man, I don't know how this happened. He follows me on Instagram. Bro, I need to reach out to, if there's a way we can make that happen. You get me? If there's a way we can make that happen, man, we need to make that happen. Lil Yachty killed this crap. Killed it. Now this is still an Air Force One. Known and loved, right? But I think this filled a void that we missed for so long, right? Because we know Bapes are not what they once were, right? And that time and period in life was beautiful, man. I loved Bape. I loved what it standed for. I loved what it represented. I loved the fact that when I wore Bapes, right, back in the day, people thought I was wearing fake Air Force Ones. I loved that. I loved that I was so in that people thought I was out, right? I loved that. I love that feeling, right? This brought that back. And when you see it dropped, certain people drop it with the, I think it's the CPFM, that big sweater that they have. Oh, yeah, it's perfect. Perfect. Colors, it's perfect. It's like it's made for one another. It's a match made in heaven. It's perfect. You get me? I was seeing Paris Fashion Week all over my timeline, killing it. Lil Yachty, you smashed it, my bro. You smashed it. Real limited amounts in the UK, £120. So super, super cost effective. Really, really respectful in terms of price, and just a super out there shoe. Yeah, man, this shoe's one of them ones. You get me? And that's why I had to, because of the redemption story. I think Lorenzo's been really consistent, and that's why I gave him the 4, right? This was a redemption, man. And maybe it should go the other way. And maybe I'm just saying what I'm saying, right? But I love the fact that this guy took on board everything that was said. And maybe this was what was going to come out anyway. Who knows, right? But I feel like the narrative I want to tell myself is that he took on board everything that we said in terms of the original one being super boring and lazy, and he went back and he made an out there kick that really represented him. Because when you think of Little Yachty, you don't think of that original shoe. Yeah, you think something more along the lines of this. Because the guy's always been, you know what I'm saying? He's always been lit, bro. The guy's always looked good. Pause. He's always wore nice clothes. You get me? Like, so, like, this is far more representative, in my opinion, humbly. You get me, man? So shout out to Little Yachty for coming in at number 3. My number 2, right? I think we're doing good work. Right? My number 2 is a shoe that took me by surprise. Right? Now, some of you are going to see this and you're going to be like, but Pro, I thought you said that you don't have retros in your top 10s. Oh, really? You don't think I have retros in my top 10? Well, that's true. I don't have retros in my top 10. Right? But what I do have, right, is reimagined. I think we can all agree, right, that in 2025, the black metallic reimagined, the Air Jordan 5 black metallic reimagined, I think we can all agree that that particular shoe it caught us completely from left field. Nobody expected it at all. Nobody expected it to be as good as it was in terms of its execution. No fanfare, no story, right? Like, I come from the era of the lost and found, bro. We got a whole backstory. We got receipts. We got the mom and pop shop. We got the whole 9. With this reimagined, they just changed some really cool elements on the shoe and it elevated the shoe infinitely. This shoe, in my opinion, is better than the original. Take it or leave it. This shoe banged. In 2025, the black metallic Air Jordan 5 is number 2 in terms of shoes that dropped this year. That's it. That's all I'm saying. It's number 2. Like, I loved everything about the shoe. The only thing I didn't like about the shoe is that I didn't get to cop the shoe because at that time I had to make a choice. This is very early on in the year, and I think the shoe was £190. This is very early on in the year, and if memory serves, I don't have to use my memory, actually. I can actually tell you. Yes, both shoes dropped in January. So already I'm talking about 3 of the shoes that dropped in January are in my top 4, stroke top 3, right? 3 of them, right? 3 of them, right? Is it 3 of them? No, 2 of them. Sorry. 2 of the shoes that dropped in the first month of the year are in my top 4. 2 of them. The Lorenzo and these, right? Where the Lorenzo has an impeccable story and an interesting, and there's like a familial connection there. This shoe caught us completely by surprise, and it was just an impeccably made shoe, and that's it. It's just that good. Now, this shoe could be lower, it could be higher, it could be anything. This shoe is where it is for a reason, because it deserves it, right? It deserves it. Air Max, the 95, I'm saying Air Max and then I'm saying 95. The Jordan 5 is a shoe that deserves a huge amount of respect. By a lot of people's accounts, one of the most comfortable Jordans as well. But this shoe with the sort of icy bottoms, the reflective tongue, white laces on the black background. Yeah, man. It covered every base with the Nike Air at the back. Yeah, man, the shoe, it slaps, right? The shoe is fantastic. So yeah, the shoe is my number 2. And maybe it should be lower, maybe it should be higher, but that's what it is. It is what it is, right? So people, I just need to get to my number 1 now. Now, as I've gone through everything, I'm just going to recap, right? Just going to recap so we're all on the same page, yeah? Because some of you are probably guessing what my number 1 is already. And considering my social media, a lot of people are going to already know, right? But let's bring this back. Let's bring this back home for a second. Right? Coming in at number 10 is the Glower Constrictor, right? Could quite easily be the Apron Record 180, but we leave that there, right? Maybe even you say that's a joint 10th, right? But we're leaving it there, right? Coming in at number 9 is the Armor Meniere cold wash only. Coming in at number 8 is the Pata Air Max 90 Waves Sapphire. Coming in at number 7 is the Cortez Honey Black Air Max 95. Number 6 is the J Tips I Love You But I'm Busy in the Jazz 9. Coming in at number 5 is the Air Max 95, the Obsidian for Levi's. Levi's Obsidian Black and the Light Allwood. Number 4 is the Lorenz OG Dusk times New Balance 860 V2. Number 3 is the Lil Yachty / Concrete Boys Lucky Green Nike Air Force One. And number 2 is the Jordan 5 Black Metallic Reimagined. I think you could shift around a couple of those, but all in all, I've covered all my bases. Impeccable list, even if I say so myself. But at number 1, it could be no other, right? And number 1, there's no other that has come out this year, in my opinion, that comes close, right? There is no close number 1 to the number 1. This is it. Storytelling, number 1. Execution of kick, number 2. Rollout, number 3. Like, everything that you could think about in terms of shoes, this shoe is the best. Every aspect. Rollout in multiple cities. Storytelling upon storytelling. We all know he built this thing brick by brick, representing the dark Queens, like streets and the brownstones and the bricks and the mortar and the tenacity and the perseverance. Nigel Sylvester. And then the shoe. Bike Air at the back. Really a red, vibrant red on the upper. Some people use them off-white laces just to make them pop as well. Me, I like to go mono on mine. I got mine just up here. Keep it real simple. Everything about the shoe bangs. Personal anecdote as well. I have a little series on Instagram where I pretend my missus sends me out to go get some shopping and says, while you're out to go and get the shopping, go and grab yourself something, right? So I do that, and I did that with this particular shoe. And that particular video, as of now, that particular video is on 3 million views on Instagram. 3 million views. Crazy work. Now, I would love to say it's on 3 million views because of me and this face. But I would have to give partly some credit to Mr. Nigel Sylvester himself, who grabbed that video and put it on his story. Right? Now, he may have just seen it doing numbers and said, you know, man, let's give this video a little bit of shit because it's a funny little video. But he didn't have to do that. He also commented on the video. He did multiple things, right? He's not following me, is he? I don't think he's following me. I don't think he went that far. No, he don't follow me. I was getting excited for a minute because the dude did a lot, right? And I put a huge amount of appreciation and respect on his name, man, because I love the shoe. Like it gives me Red October vibes, and you guys know how I feel about the Yeezy 2. I think that's the best shoe ever made, right? I used to be like Red October. Now I'm like, any one of them would do me. But it gives me that vibe, and it brings me back to that place, and it's elevated though. Like it's not a rip. This is elevated. This is different shoe, yes, but also a different story, but a completely legitimate one, right? So yeah, this shoe, to me, the brick by brick, I don't even know if I've said the name, is just unbelievable, right? I think the shoe, especially after what he did last year with the 4RM and the fence green, he proved something that not many collaborators at Nike can do right now. He's able to create a buzz around even a new silhouette. Like there's not many out there in the game right now collecting checks from Nike that can do that. Completely new silhouette. There's Travis that could do completely new silhouettes, and that's hit and miss. New silhouettes are very, very techie. He smashed that shoe out the park. They gave him a reward. They gave him the Jordan 4 at the height of Jordan 4 popularity. And he killed it. And later on this year, apparently there's meant to be potentially a fire red. Potentially there's a Jordan 1 in the works as well. All with renders looking crazy already, right? All with stories attached. Every single Nigel Sylvester shoe comes with a story attached. And that is the reason why he is the collaborator of the moment. Because he doesn't just create product. He creates a moment. He creates narratives. He gives you the opportunity to actually understand the why behind the shoe. Really, really important. Super underrated for a lot of people. A lot of people just want to produce product. Nike really just wants to produce product, shove it down our throats, and just wants us to gobble it all up. But nah, sometimes you need a collaborator that's going to go the extra mile and actually tell us a story. And he does that every single time. So I've got to put a massive amount of respect on Nigel Sylvester's name, not only for bigging up the video, but just creating an impeccable shoe. You know how many people comment about that back hair like it's a fake crepe? They don't get it. I love that. Oh, I love it. I love people seeing back hair on the back of my kicks and thinking it's fake. I love the fact that I'm so in, I'm almost out. You get me? It's the same feeling you get, and it's the same feeling I used to get when I used to rock Bapes, man. Sometimes it's just like you're so in the game, bro. And people are watching you, man. They're just part of the regular people of life. I'm not gonna call them NPCs or nothing, but like they just don't get it. They just don't get it, man. People see back hair on the kick in the videos and they're commenting back hair, question mark, back hair, open eyes, emoji, right? And I'm like, bro, Google is free, right? And I'm asking him, does Google cost money in your country? Just go and Google the shoe and you'll understand, right? Apart from the fact that it looks exactly like the Nike logo in every way, shape or form. But that is what it is, man. Guys, let me know, man. That's my top 10. People, that's my top 10. I said at the beginning, some of you are going to vibe with it, some of you are not, right? I went way longer than I thought I was going to go, but sometimes with top 10s, it gets like that. You get me, man? But first and foremost, man, I just want to thank you. If you managed to get to the end of this, thank you so much for doing that. I really do appreciate it. Make sure to like, comment, subscribe. Get me. Make sure to let me know in the comments your top 10, your top 5, your top 3, maybe your top 1, whatever. Just interact with me in the comments, man. Not in a funny way, obviously. Not in a funny way. Just I'm saying, like, get in the comments. Let me know what you're thinking and you're feeling. If you want to send me an email, kickschronicles@gmail.com. You get me? Let me think, is there anything else I'm meant to say at the end of these? You get me? As I said, as I'm getting myself back in gear, you get me? From doing outside, coming to inside, we're going to be getting some really, really cool guests coming up. But sometimes I'm going to mix it up with these kind of podcasts where it's just you and me. It's just you and me. Because sometimes we need to talk as well. So yeah, let me know in the comments whether you're feeling this. Never be afraid to reach out. Prozech, as in PROZECH, on all social media platforms. Make sure to holler at me. I'll always holler back. You get me? And yeah, man, until I see you, man, down the road, make sure to continue to look after yourselves and stay blessed, man. God bless you. Thank you for listening to this episode of Kicks Chronicles. Please make sure to like, comment, subscribe, share, rate, review, and all that good stuff. And remember, full video version is available on YouTube, audio versions available on Spotify and Apple